Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Most Accurate Podcast. I am your host, Jennifer Akins, joined with always, Justin Edwards. Week 8. I hope you all enjoyed our new intro music. We did. We were
I
rocking
was
out. Well,
clapping. I was
we,
clapping along.
yeah, we were foot stomping, clapping. Um,
Yee!
much better, at least for us, than what we've had for years and years and years. Um, I don't know what it's called, or I would give some sort of shout out. It's called a very generic, like bluegrass something or other,
Generic hoedown.
generic hoedown, but we like it. Uh, Justin, how you doing? How was week 7 for you?
Good. We just coming off of a Rondé Gadsden week, which I didn't even realize we didn't talk about. I was like, yes, oh man, I can't wait to talk about Gadsden on Tuesday with Jen. And I'm like, oh, I didn't write him up last week.
Oh, rough.
I've been the biggest proponent, and I didn't even put him in the article or the streaming show last week, and it's upsetting.
It happens to the best of us, Justin. I've been there many times where something exciting happens, and then, sure enough, there's no data to back it up, or
I
no.
know.
You seem much brighter than me. Should I crank up my light a little bit?
I don't usually open my blinds, and I wanted to see some sunlight.
All right. I have artificial light, but I just cranked it up a little bit. I'm still darker than you, but whatever.
I mean,
Anyway,
that's going to be the case no matter
well,
what.
true. But for the aesthetics of the pod, I just
Right.
figured we
Yeah.
watch the same lighting, but it's not going to happen. All right. Anyway, welcome to the show, everybody. We are week 8. This is the streaming show where we go over quarterbacks, tight ends, kickers, and defenses to stream for the week. There are 6 teams on a bye this week, which is a lot and not ideal, and some good teams too. So people are going to have to do a little scrambling. So
Right.
hopefully we can help them out. Let's start the show here with our normal weekly recap from last week. I'm going to go ahead and hugely toot my own horn. I had a fantastic week. Quarterback was all right. Kicker was pretty darn good. I'm not going to lie there. So we'll just go ahead and do that. So quarterback last week, I had 3 only, and then I threw into bonus disclaimer. They have really bad matchups. So my number 1 streamer last week was Joe Flacco, and he was the quarterback 6 with 26 points. So if you went that route, you were happy. Aaron Rodgers, number 2 there, and he was quarterback 10. So once again, I had 2 guys in the top 10. No complaints there. Michael Penix Jr. was quarterback 17. He also got hurt. But 17 is not awful for a streamer. I mean, it's something, right?
Especially when you leave the game.
Yeah, especially when you leave the game. And like I said, I did have 2 bonus guys with the disclaimer that they were horrible matchups. One of them, Jackson Dart, was the quarterback 2 with 28.4 points. And then Darnold, not great last night, quarterback 24 with a whopping 8.6 points. So overall, though, I mean, I can't complain. 3 guys in the top 10 out of 5. I'll take it all day.
Yeah, I'd say that's a win any day of the week.
Yeah.
Titans weren't nearly that good, as I mentioned. We did not put Gadsden in here, even though he was the tight end 1, but it doesn't count because I didn't say anything about it. Harold Fannin was the tight end 23.
I think it counts.
Yeah, well, it counts in my heart. I said it in Slack. I can show receipts that I like Rondé Gadsden. Fannin was the tight end 23. Mason Taylor was the tight end 26, and another miserable performance out of the Jets. AJ Barner was the tight end 42. Kate Otten was the tight end 14, and Michael Mayer was unable to take advantage of another week without Brock Bowers. He was only the tight end 41. So we had a few tight end 2s, which is fine, but looking to regroup this week.
Looking to regroup. All right, sounds good. Kicker, like I said, it was a pretty darn good week, especially for my article. I only gave out 4 on here, but the rest of the ones in my actual streaming article were also happened to be fantastic. But Jake Moody was my number 1 guy, and he was kicker 4 with 14 points. Lucas Haversick was my number 2 guy, and he was kicker 5 with 11 points. Eddie Pinheiro was kicker 7, and he was my number 3 guy. And then I had Andres Borregales, down there at kicker 11, still starting kicker numbers, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so
for all of them.
Right. All 4 guys I recommended were in the top 4. And then in my article, I actually had Jason Myers as well, who was kicker 8. So yeah, I mean, honestly, yeah, if you pay attention to what I put out there, you had a great week.
Yeah,
Um,
you know, starting kicker no matter who you picked.
yeah, so I'm back on track. I mean, this is kind of usually my MO in this department, but this season has not been so great. So I'm happy to finally give some good advice out to people. Hopefully they took it. How'd we do on D?
Defense was much better than tight ends. We had the Jets take on the Panthers. They were the defense 16 with 6 points, which is fine. The Dolphins headed to Cleveland and just looked pretty terrible all the way around. They were the defense 23. But the Bears took on the Saints. They were tied for the defense 6. And then we also had the other side of that Dolphins matchup, talking about the Browns. They were the defense 1 by a long shot. They scored 25 points. So Dolphins were the last one I mentioned last week, so hopefully people avoided that. But defense 16, defense 6, and the defense 1, so not too shabby.
No, that's great. I streamed the Bears, and I was happy with that.
Yeah, for sure. They still scored 13 to be the defense 6. That was a big defensive scoring week, apparently.
Yeah, I did notice that as well. All right, so there's our nice little wrap up here. Hopefully we can do as well for you guys this week. Let me switch my. I didn't have the comments on here. All right, and we do have some, but we'll get there in a sec. Let's do our weird sport of the week. So
let's do it.
I tried to find like a Halloween pumpkin-y, but we've already done the pumpkin kayaking, I believe.
Yeah, actually.
I think we did that. And then there's also like pumpkin chucking, which I don't know. I mean, what, you just toss it in a catapult? I don't think that's very exciting. So unfortunately, there's no maybe I'll find one next week because we do have one more week.
We still got a week.
But I didn't find anything there. This is just a generic sport. Well, it's not generic. It's weird and whatever. But okay, so this sport is called haka-pay. I assume that is how you pronounce it. So it's a sport from Easter Island, which I found interesting that they, I don't know. I feel like Easter Island is known for the statues and you don't really think much beyond that, but they have their own sport that has evolved from there. So basically, competitors slide down a steep volcanic slope on a sled made of 2 banana tree trunks only, which this vehicle, if you want to call it, reaches speeds up to 80 kilometers per hour. I looked that up just to translate for those of you. 49.71 miles per hour.
Right.
On a sled made of 2 banana tree trunks down the side of a volcanic slope. I from the photos, there's no protective gear, right? These guys are not wearing helmets. They're not wearing knee pads, shoulder pads, whatever, any of those things. So it originated as a ancient rite of passage for young men to prove their bravery, of course, as that happens. But today it's listen, we did like fireball soccer. Remember that was some sort of teen ritual to the whole proving your masculinity as a teen is pretty silly to me, but it's still happening clearly. But yeah, so now it's a major event in the annual. I'm not gonna Tapati Rapa Nui Festival there in on Easter Island. And the winner is the one who slides the farthest down. So it's not the fastest, I guess, because it's volcanic slope. Like, I guess it's not as, I don't know. It's whoever goes the fastest. So
seems like there's a lot of friction.
Yes, exactly. I don't know if you've ever tried to, like we have here in Colorado, the sand dunes, people like snowboard down it.
Yeah.
Different, obviously, than snow, different texture, like you said, more friction per se. But yeah, so the details, let's see, they lie on their backs, their feet face downhill. I mean, whatever. It is what it is. Yeah, that's it. Any thoughts?
I feel like this is something I absolutely would be doing at a younger date. When I was like more malleable. Now this kind of seems like a good way to like break a collarbone.
Yeah, I agree. Like without any kind of protection whatsoever. Like, yeah, I mean, you have to at least wear a helmet. I mean, come on. Right. Like that's got to be number one there. I mean, that is concussion / death trap. But anyway, that's haka-pay. So there we go. Weird sport of the week. All right, let's take a few questions here if we have any. Samuel, what is the value? Oh, hold on, let me click on here. What is the value of Aaron Jones when he will return with the Vikings this week to replace Kendre Miller on my roster, hopefully? I mean,
I don't
Jordan
know that
Mason
I
has
would.
not. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say I don't know that I would start him this week. But what do you think? I kind of cut
I
you
was
off.
just going to say Jordan Mason really hasn't been great. Like in the past, like a
Yeah.
week ago, I got this question in my my Discord AMA, and I was like, no, no. But then after watching Mason again this week, I'm just like, I mean, sure, why not roll the dice? But I of course, it's like we always say, it's Tuesday, and I don't know who they're playing. The Chargers, because I see here you have Gadsden versus Vikings. That's the
Oh
only
yeah.
reason I know that,
Right.
because I
Good
can see
call.
it on our sheet. So yeah, they're playing the Chargers on the road, it seems. So I mean, if you're replacing Kendre Miller, you clearly don't have a great option there, right? Because
Yeah,
if that was
that's
your
fair.
option, then yeah, I would say why not.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I don't
Yeah.
love
I
it.
mean, it's better than nothing. But I
Right.
would, if there's an option, I'd prefer to wait on Jones. Yeah. I mean, Mason hasn't looked good, but I feel like they're going to be splitting it like right down the middle
Yeah.
for now until Jones is fully back.
Yeah, probably. All
Yeah.
right. Happy week 8 to you, I Mitchell. Okay,
Thank you, Mitchell.
Samuel also has a tight end question for you. Gadsden, Andrews, or Gadsden?
Gadsden.
Gadsden, Andrews, or Gadsden?
It's going to be Gadsden.
Yeah, I would agree with you. As a Mark Andrews rosterer, I would go.
It's tough out there.
It's been rough. And unfortunately, I think I told you it was a league that I forgot about the draft, and I showed up late, and he was on.
Oh yeah.
I would have never taken Andrews. I don't care who was there. I would not have taken Andrews just for the mental anguish every week. Like it's not like he sucks or anything. there's no way. And unfortunately, I showed up in like the 5th round, and he was autoed in like the 3rd or 4th, and it really, yes, still strikes me as whatever. Anyway, okay, let's move on to some streaming, shall we?
Let's do it.
All right, I only have 3 this week. It's not a horrific week, but I felt like beyond 3 was a stretch, so I'm going 3. Number 1 I have is Jackson Dart. Now, this is the deal with Jackson Dart. He is actually 42% rostered. But when I looked last night, he was not. No, but when I looked last night, he was not.
How dare you?
I already put him on the sheet. So I'm sorry, but the sheet is what it is. So I was not going to change it. So he's illegal, but he was not last night.
That's
so,
fair.
Thank you. So Jackson Dart.
I approve.
Thank you. So Jackson Dart counts at 42%. He's on the road against the Eagles, which on paper you think, However, doesn't seem to matter for Dart, right? I mean, Philadelphia is 4th in schedule adjusted fantasy points allowed. Last week he played the 2nd team in schedule adjusted fantasy points allowed and scored 28.4 points.
Right.
So that doesn't seem to matter. We also have the fact that he played the Eagles 2 weeks ago and scored 23.6 points. So Jackson Dart seems to be some sort of freak of whatever, and for fantasy purposes, he's the real deal right now. So he's my number 1 guy. If he's there for you. Second, we have a juicy, lovely revenge game with Aaron Rodgers. He is at home against the Green Bay Packers, which, as we all know, he played for 30 years. So he's now back for revenge. This is the deal, right? Rodgers, we talk about this. Revenge Rodgers, angry Rodgers, non-sex Rodgers, good Rodgers. So week 1, he played the Jets, which was also a revenge game. And he had 244 yards and 4 touchdowns. And he had a 73.3% completion rate. So once again, he's seeking revenge. And Green Bay is actually 21st in quarterback adjusted fantasy points allowed. So they are permeable.
There it is. Ding.
Ding. So there we go. So there's number 2 is Aaron Rodgers. I like him this week, and you should as well. Third guy we have is also out for revenge, and I guess that happens when you play on 35 different teams.
Right.
Joe Flacco is at home against the Jets, and he is 12% rostered. He played for the Jets from 2020 to 2022. For those of you that need that information, So last week he absolutely torched the Steelers for 342 yards and 3 touchdowns. The Jets right now, they're decent against quarterbacks, but they have allowed 13 touchdowns, which is the 8th most. And then as a bonus, Flacco gets Chicago next week, who have allowed 15 touchdowns, which is the 3rd most. So you can grab him now, hang on to the Bears next week. Good option. So there you go. You got Dart, Rodgers, Flacco. I would start any one of them this week.
Yeah. Yeah, honestly. I mean, I was going to say the same thing about Dart. Like, well, always playing the Eagles. Like, he did just play the Eagles and he was fine.
I know. And so it's like, why not throw him out there again? And last week we thought, okay, he's playing Denver in Denver. They're second against, didn't matter. He's still, he's still QB2, I think, or QB3. I can't remember.
Yeah.
I actually believe I wrote it down and then didn't even say it. Yeah, he was 2, and then he was 3 against the Eagles 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So there you go. So that's that. Let's see. We have another question here from Shantho Thespian.
Okay.
That's not really right, I don't think. Oh, Justin is gone. All right. Sweet. Solo pod. I have Denver Broncos defense. Should I drop them to stream the Colts this week? Let's see. Oh, Justin is back.
I didn't mean it. What just happened?
I don't know, but I was like, I guess I'm going to do this by myself for the next 20 minutes.
StreamYard just like crashed for me for some reason. Like,
cool.
What's going on?
I'm glad you're back. All right. So we have a question. They have the Broncos D. They're wondering if they should drop them and stream the Colts. We're going to get to streaming defenses soon, but I don't see them on your list. So
no, they're too rostered, but if they're available, they're playing the Titans. So I would definitely take the Colts. Denver's got the Cowboys, so I wouldn't want to mess with that.
Yeah, they're kind of heating up a little bit offensively. We should say. Okay, let's is there such a thing as a running back streamer? I mean, not in theory, but in theory, I mean, you could. Like if there's a guy out there that has a good matchup, but you don't need him long term and you feel like you could just do it for a week, then I mean,
it's usually like an injury. And then someone pops up and they're only 20% rostered or whatever. But I mean, you can stream any position. It's just not, you wouldn't want to do it with something as malleable as the running back position. It's easier for tight ends because you could score 3 points and your opponent also scores 3 points at their tight end position because it happens all the time.
Yeah. With running backs though, I feel like sometimes, I mean, you kind of end up going that route anyway. Like if you have a bye week and an injury and you're like, okay, I have to just have a body that may get, I mean, I started Emmanuel Wilson, not this week, but like 2 weeks ago. And I knew, I mean, literally it was, I forgot who it was. Somebody, I think it was Hubbard, was like, someone was a last minute kind of out and the game was in 20 minutes. And I was like, I need a body to put in just there.
Anybody.
And
I knew 4 points.
Yeah. So I put in Emmanuel Wilson. I believe he got me 2 points. And then I dropped him because it was, so that's technically, I guess.
That's a perfect example.
Streamer, as you'd say. All right, Justin, let's get to tight ends. Who did you bring for us today in the tight end streaming department?
I brought one.
Did you really? No, you didn't.
I'm only talking about Oronde Gadsden to make
That's
up
it.
for
This is an Oronde Gadsden pat. Whatever. Talk. I can't.
He's taking on the Vikings. He's 5% rostered still. That'll be way more. He might not even be qualifying as a streamer this time next week. The underlying metrics have been good these last couple of weeks, but just the raw stats are plenty enough to go grab him. He's got 14 catches, 232 yards, and a 15-yard touchdown over the last 2 weeks. He has outscored everybody at the tight end position outside of Trey McBride, just in the last 2 weeks, not for the season, obviously. Gadsden had begun to see more work, caught his first pass in week 3. The increase in work had directly coincided with the knee injury to Will Dissly. Dissly returned last week. He returned in week 6, so I guess a week and a half ago. It didn't matter. Gadsden's usage was still bumped. And then last week, Dissly got 1 target, which he dropped, and he was not targeted for the rest of the game. And then Gadsden went on for, 167 yards. It was actually the 3rd most yardage of any rookie tight end behind someone I forget and Mike Ditka. I don't remember.
Shockley, probably.
It was someone from the 60s.
Oh, so okay.
That's probably why I can't remember.
Yeah.
But Gadsden gets it's not the greatest matchup, but if he's going to be involved like this, obviously the Chargers have been leading on the pass more than pretty much any team. It's them and the Chiefs with the highest neutral pass rate. And I guess the Bengals as well. But anyways, even if you picked up Gadsden and didn't need him this week for some reason, I think he's still one of the best holds in the league right now. So Gadsden should be on everyone's radar. For the rest I guess I'll talk about the rest of them. If Gadsden's not out there for some reason, or you're not believing the hype or whatever, Mason Taylor does get the Bengals this week. He is available in 61% of leagues.
Another Nepo baby, right after.
I know, right? Yeah, like let's just keep going. How many Nepos? Okay, I think those are the only 2 Nepos I have this week. But
okay,
the Jets' offense has been a hellscape. They've got 217 yards over these last 2 games. That number, I looked this up for some reason. That number has been eclipsed by a single quarterback 117 times this season in just one game.
Look at you bringing some facts.
I know. Look
at
that
to the show.
Mason Taylor has been, disappointing these last couple of weeks. 33 of those 217 yards went to him. But luckily, the Bengals have allowed the 3rd most passing yards per game on the year, and they rank 32nd in tight end AFPA. Through 7 games, the Bengals have allowed the most catches, yards, and touchdowns to the tight end position. How many touchdowns are the Jets going to score? That's worth a question, but he's pretty much the number 1 pass catcher now. So I think Mason Taylor's one of the best floor plays you can make this week. And then digging a little deeper, Theo Johnson gets the Eagles. He is available in 82% of leagues. Like we talked about, the Eagles are a difficult matchup, but like Jackson Dart, Theo Johnson also had a very good game against them a couple weeks ago. Where was I? Oh yeah, their wide receiver room is currently Lil Jordan Humphrey, Wan'Dale Robinson, Jalen Hyatt, and some other names that people would probably not recognize. Dart had a respectable 7.8 yards per attempt when these 2 teams met last time, but they also controlled the game from wire to wire, which was pretty interesting. So this should be more of a pass-heavy approach from the Giants this time around. And yeah, Johnson should be the beneficiary of that. Did you see the touchdown that Johnson scored?
I did
where it
not.
bounced off like 3 people.
No, I actually missed that.
It was pretty great. It was had nothing to do with Theo Johnson, but he did find the end zone on that.
Right. I was going to add real quick, Lil Jordan Humphrey. I did not know that he was on the Giants until last week. I was writing up my revenge game article, and he popped up there as a
Denver.
Yeah, he was on Denver at a couple years ago. So yeah, I wrote him up and I was like, I don't know. Yeah, somehow I missed that he was in New York.
Yeah, I think I just noticed it probably last week too, because he's Saints, Denver. I think this is
wasn't he on Atlanta at some point? Maybe,
possibly.
I don't know.
Hit us up, Lil Jordan.
Yeah, or I'll look while you're talking.
Okay, then even deeper, Chika Okonkwo gets the Colts. He's been in tight end streaming timeout since I put him in the week 4 article, and he got 0 points. But he's back. He's coming back with a vengeance. Calvin Ridley is still questionable with his hamstring issue. Tyler Lockett asked for and was granted a request to seek a trade. So Lockett is, I would presume, not suiting up for the Titans if he's looking to leave Tennessee.
No, I think he was released.
Oh, did they end up just releasing him? Okay, so Lockett is gone. Ridley's probably gone. We've got a bunch of rookies there. So Okonkwo could take a lot of action away from DK and possibly Iomanor. The Colts rank 29th in tight end AFPA, and he's available in 77% of Yahoo leagues. If you have to go this deep, Noah Fant's taking on the Jets. He's 1% rostered. He had a nice representative 4 for 44 last week, so I had to put him in the article. That coincided with Mike Gesicki hitting the IR. Obviously, Flacco is looking to throw every ball he can to Ja'Marr Chase and T. Higgins, but it is notable that Noah Fant was the only tight end who got a target last week. And if you're that desperate, he is available in 99% of Yahoo leagues.
I'm sorry if you can hear my cat. He is not happy.
I thought you sneezed.
No, it's my cat. He's over here just meowing incessantly right next to me. The door was like mostly shut, but he pawed it open and
He found his way in.
yeah, he just left. Okay, so little Jordan Humphrey was I was wrong about Atlanta. He was on New England for 1 year in 2022.
Oh,
So
I
New
did not
Orleans,
remember that.
yeah, me either. New Orleans for 3 years, New England for 1, Denver for 2, and then now he's at the Giants.
Dang, how long is Lil Jordan? Is this like his 8th year?
Clearly, he's been around. Good for him. I mean, he's getting
Yeah,
paid. And
for real. I thought it was like his 3rd or 4th year or
oh
something.
no, he's been around the block. All right. So did you wrap up with a nice bow there? Because I was looking.
Oronde Gadsden is the number 1 streamer. Mason Taylor is our number 2 streamer. High floor, very questionable ceiling. And for deeper leagues, Theo Johnson gets the Eagles. Chigakonkwo gets the Colts, which is a good matchup. And very deep leagues, Noah Fant gets the Jets, and he's available pretty much everywhere.
Okay. I do see that Samuel asked if instead of Aaron Jones, if Tyler Algier is a better route to take. We kind of skipped over that, so I figured I'd throw it out there.
They get the Dolphins. Yeah, kind of. I might rather start Algier this week than Aaron Jones. The Falcons could be up by 30.
And then they're not going to run Bijan out there every time when they're up by 30. So
I actually kind of like that.
Yeah, I don't hate that either. Okay, look at us. We're moving and grooving. Let's get to kicker real quick because we don't have any more questions. Okay, I guess I should look at my notes here. Okay, this week is actually a really good kicker week. There's a lot of really good, very large spreads this week with streamable kickers, which is really nice. Number 1 kicker, Mike Badgley. Yeah, my streaming pun this week wasn't great. It wasn't as good as
I didn't see it.
I think I said like it's not a Badgley week to stream kickers or something. Whatever.
That's pretty bad, but I like it.
It was obviously bad. I usually try to go good bad, but anyway. So okay, Mike Badgley, who for those of you who don't know is the kicker for the Colts now. With Spencer Schrader on IR for the season. As we've said a few times here, they are playing the Titans at home. He is only 12% rostered. So they have the highest spread and team total of the week. So they are favored to win by 14 points over the Titans. That is 2 touchdowns, folks. That's a lot of points. They also have the highest on the slate team total at 30.75. So the Colts are going to score a lot of points. Therefore, they're going to have kicker points, whether it's field goal, extra point, whatever. So Mike Badgley is the way to go there. But I do have 3 other options that are pretty good as well. Tyler Loop, who is kicker for the Ravens. They're at home against the Bears. We may have Lamar Jackson back. We may not. He's only 14% rostered. At the moment, I assume these lines are based on Lamar Jackson playing because they're favored over the Bears by 6.5 points with a 28.5 team total.
Oh, wow. 6.5.
Yeah, I can imagine if it's Cooper Rush, that's not going to be the same number.
It would probably flip the other way.
Yeah, exactly. So I guess keep an eye on that. But Tyler Loop is a good option. And like I said, he's only 14% rostered. So if Lamar plays, I like him there. Third guy we have is Matt Prater, who is only 10% rostered because the Bills were on a bye last week. So I assume most people dropped him. They are on the road against the Panthers. They are favored by 7.5 with a 26.75 team total. Excuse me. So I think, Prater's also a good option. Fourth option, if you need them. And the thing is, all of these guys are 14% or under. So they're all good for no matter what league. If you're
got options.
Deep league, not deep league, whatever, you're good. So Parker Romo.
Is there a super kicker league?
If there was, I'd be in it, Justin.
Well,
I don't know.
Call out.
Yeah. We've talked about the few kicker analysts that we have out there have talked about doing some sort of league, but we never do because August comes around and no one wants to deal with another league and it just never happens. But all right, fourth guy we have is Parker Romo. We talked about the Falcons-Dolphins game already a few times, but once again, they are at home against the Dolphins. They are 7.5 point favorites with a 26 team total. And Parker Romo is available in 98% of leagues. So if you're in a 16 team where people hoard kickers, he's probably available. So yeah, Badgley, Loop, Prater, Romo, all of them I think are viable this week. They all have. I mean, the lowest spread we're looking at is 6.5, which is crazy. I know. And the article, like in my article, I've got 3 more, and they're all similar. I just couldn't put them all in here because people don't care, but I do. So if you want more, go to the article.
I care.
I know.
Lee
I don't
cares.
see Lee is not here. Unless he's
no,
oh,
it's right
there he
there.
is. Honey Badger. I'm sorry, Lee. You are here. Welcome. Hopefully you had a good kicker week last week because I know you do stream. All right, Justin, defenses.
Yeah, defense. I thought it was going to be a little tough because everyone I kept looking at I'm like, oh yeah, I can't believe they're not 40%. I'm like, oh, they're on a bye. I'm like, oh, I can't believe they're not 40. Oh, they're on a bye. But it ended up pretty fine. We got some good options here. We're going to keep picking on the Dolphins. This is like the fourth time we've mentioned this game. The Falcons defense against the Dolphins, they're available in 90% of Yahoo leagues. The Dolphins obviously allowed 25 fantasy points to the Browns defense last week. They now rank 28th in schedule adjusted fantasy points allowed to opposing defenses. Falcons are currently 6th in defensive DVOA. They've been as high as number 1, even with that random Panthers game where Carolina scored 30 points. So Falcons probably with a bullet here. That's who I'd prefer over these next 3 options, but there are more options. The Bills head into Carolina to take on either Andy Dalton or Bryce Young. Buffalo coming out of their bye on a 2-game losing streak. I think the talent is clearly in Buffalo's favor here in Carolina, no matter who the quarterback is. So I think they're an interesting streamer this week. A little bit further down the line, the Bucks head into New Orleans, take on a Saints offensive line that continues to get more banged up. I believe Eric McCoy is now out for the season. Again, that's happened a couple times to him in the last handful of years. Regression finally hit Spencer Rattler. We talked about last week how he had thrown, I think, the second most turnover-worthy plays on the season, but only had 1 interception. Last week, that regression came around. He threw 3 interceptions to a team who I don't remember. The Bears got 3 interceptions. Like we just talked about this team. And finally, the 49ers go into Houston to take on another banged up, kind of underperforming offensive line. The injuries do keep piling up for San Francisco, but it doesn't seem to matter. They just went into Atlanta 120-10. Robert Saleh is probably going to be the assistant coach of the year if this continues. CJ Stroud completed only 46.9% of his passes last night, and he racked up 6 turnover-worthy plays. I think they only turned to 1 interception, but as we've seen, if you throw a lot of turnover-worthy passes, eventually they will start to get picked off. So a nice little bow for those 4. Falcons with a bullet take on the Miami Dolphins. They're only 10% rostered. The Bills get the Panthers. They're only 39% rostered. The Bucks travel to New Orleans. They are 11% rostered, and the 49ers head down to Houston. They are 15% rostered.
All right. I like it. All right. I guess we've done it all, folks.
We've done it all.
We've done it all.
I even got kicked out of StreamYard halfway through.
Yeah. I was like, okay, this is going to be fun. I mean, I have the sheet. I could just,
I was like, did my internet go out? Like, no, everything else is working just
all
fine.
Of a sudden, my thing, like, I was just like huge. I was like, all right, here we go. Thank you all for joining us. As usual, check out all the articles on 4for4. We have more expanded streaming articles as well on all the 4 positions. Plus, my dead weight came out this morning. Justin's stash will probably be out in a little bit after this pod is over. We have a waiver wire article from Matt Okada, all the things. And then if not, we will see you all back next week, same time, same channel. See ya. Oh, no. Hold on. Okay.